Julian Assange's internet has been cut. Of course, Julian Assange is the founder of WikiLeaks, and they've been pretty busy leaking documents on Hillary Clinton recently. So his internet gets cut. Ecuador released the following statement on cutting his internet. Remember, he's in the Ecuadorian embassy, I believe, in the UK. They said the following. Ecuador granted political asylum to Julian Assange in 2012 based on his legitimate fears of political persecution because of his journalistic activities as the editor of WikiLeaks. In recent weeks, WikiLeaks has published a wealth of documents impacting on the U.S. election campaign. This decision was taken exclusively by that organization. The government of Ecuador respects the principle of non-intervention in the internal affairs of other states. It does not interfere in external electorate processes, nor does it favor any particular candidate. Accordingly, Ecuador has exercised its sovereign right to temporarily restrict access to some of its private communications network within its embassy in the United Kingdom. This temporary restriction does not prevent the WikiLeaks organization from carrying out its journalistic activities. Ecuador, in accordance with its tradition of defending human rights and protecting the victims of political persecution, reaffirms the asylum granted to Julian Assange and reiterates its intention to safeguard his life and physical integrity until he reaches a safe place. Ecuador's foreign policy responds to sovereign decisions alone and does not yield to pressure from other states. Okay, yeah. This is confusing. So this happens. Also at the same time, they said that RT, so Russia Today, the TV network, their accounts were frozen in the UK. RT UK's accounts were frozen. And this all happened at the same time. And, well, obviously, the initial reaction and the first thought is clearly the U.S. government is behind this, high-ranking people, I don't know, in the fucking FBI or the CIA or in the executive branch, made some phone calls and said, look, man, here's the deal. I don't know how much money we give Ecuador, for example, or I don't know, well, obviously we're best buddies with the UK, but we might have said, hey, do us a favor, next thing on the internet, skay, whatever the case is. But the thing that I was stuck on is, okay, so somebody high up is behind this. But at the same time, it is true that they haven't, turned Julian Assange over to the U.S. yet. He's still sitting there in the Ecuadorian embassy. So they haven't gone as far as to say, okay, yeah, no, here he is. But they would go as far as cutting his internet. And they're saying that, oh, no, this isn't going to affect what WikiLeaks is doing. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure he's involved to some extent, even at this late point, with these leaks. Not that there aren't other people in the organization who can take over and kind of do all that stuff for him. But either way, it's fishy and it's strange. And, I mean, you're going after somebody with a hell of a lot of power. Former First Lady, former Secretary of State, current nominee for the Democratic Party, ultimate establishment insider. The president is campaigning for her. You got basically the entire U.S. government is against what WikiLeaks is doing, and they're trying to stop what WikiLeaks is doing. And there's a lot of misinformation that's floating around out there, too. Like Chris Cuomo on CNN said something like, it's illegal to actually have those emails. What are you talking about? No, it's not. You're a fucking journalist, and you don't know what journalism is? Obviously, you can report on that stuff. Are you kidding me? But bottom line is, there's some weird shit going on, man. Freezing the RT account, and of course, I don't know what argument they'd make, but the real reason they're upset is they don't want Russia's narrative to get out to the West. They want to control the narrative in the West. They don't want to hear another point of view on Syria. They don't want to hear another point of view on Crimea. So they're, okay, shut that off. And then now with WikiLeaks, it's like every day I read some story where I feel like we are in a movie. Enemy of the state, Will Smith. I saw a headline yesterday in The Guardian that said something like half of everybody in America, so half of America, are in a database of facial recognition technology. What the fuck are we talking about here? We are living in a movie. That's insanity. So perhaps a computer picked up my fucking face, and then if I were to ever do something bad, maybe not, they'd say, oh, well, look, we know it's you because we have the facial recognition technology. George Orwell's rolling over his grave right now. So there's some weird shit going on. Do I support WikiLeaks? Fuck yeah, I support WikiLeaks. This isn't a partisan thing. That's what I need everybody to understand. I supported WikiLeaks when it was back when Chelsea Manning released everything she released. I support WikiLeaks now. I support WikiLeaks when they go after Republicans. I support WikiLeaks when they go after Democrats. You want to know why? Because I'm not a hack. And I actually care about transparency and accountability in government. Powerful people making big decisions that affect your life and want control over our government, over the economy and stuff like that. Yeah, we should know what they're doing. I'm not saying, everybody should have the fucking nuclear codes. I'm not saying there's literally no such thing as information that should be top secret or classified. Everybody understands that there's some stuff that should be top secret or classified. But these motherfuckers abuse it. And they abuse it and they use it to hide anything that's embarrassing about them and anything that shows them abusing their power. They're like, classified, top secret, nobody talk about it. What are you talking about? And everybody shut the fuck up. So that's what they do. We know they're up to some creepy shit behind the scenes, and I do support transparency. I do support WikiLeaks, and I don't like this crackdown on them, and I fear what else is going to happen. Because there's already erosions on free press rights, and I fear that we're going further and further down that path.